here at the Airstream. Just getting lined up so that I can get that hitch on. I'm excited to test the hitch, which should be good, so I can provide a little feedback as to if our shim worked. You know, that shim that Randy made. I was gonna say we, but I didn't have much to do with it. I banged on it with a hammer. Randy thought that was funny. Banging away at it.
It's not going. It's not even gonna be close.
So we're gonna be able to test that hitch, which would be good. We're gonna get the Michelins. We're moving from ST to LT, which is what we did with our last Airstream, the Flying Cloud. And then there's some other loose ends I ended up getting based on everyone's recommendation. I got the accumulator tank for the seaflow pump. I'm not sure if we're gonna get into that in this video, but there's some loose ends that I'd like to take care of because next week, Trish and I are gonna be going down the west coast of Florida, so we have that to share, which would be great. We wanted to do some updates on the hurricanes as it relates to state parks, because I believe, with the exception of one night, everything is state park, which I thought would be kind of fun. That there like this. Goes in there nice. Ronnie turned me on to this. This is boron nitride aerosol Lubercoat. Apparently it's like a metal penetrating lubricant, and it kind of turns metal into like a Teflon, for lack of a better term, so that I don't need to use the grease on my bike. So anyway, I'm giving it a shot, so I'll let you know if it works or not. This is the first time I'm hooking up since I've sprayed it on the ball.
You're not spraying a wasp. You have to stand back a mile.
Oh, I like that it's white, because now I can see it go underneath the coupler. I'm gonna give it a shot. You know, I like to try things and then report back if it's working. Sometimes things don't work. A lot of people have been asking for an update on the truck. Everything went back to normal, as I thought it would, but I do have a lingering check engine light. And I've got right here, I got this little Obi-Wan Kenobi reader. It's possible to do this one hand. Look at it, it comes in this little case. Look at this, right? This Bluetooth connects to my phone. So it's kind of like OBD light. Some people have been asking, I get the 7-way and I get the DC to DC, but what's that third one? The third one here is the Ford OEM TPMS and rear camera. The rear camera that's actually on the Airstream, not the truck. So that's what this one is. I used Google Satellite before I came, so I knew exactly where to go, and I had a conversation with Discount Tire as to where to park.
So you pull up pretty much below the dumpster, so you will back up right into the dumpsters into that side door.
Okay, cool. Hey, would you mind if I just disconnect the trailer and rotate the Michelin tires on the truck while I wait too? So these wheels were sent to me by Sendel, and I purchased them last time with the Flying Cloud right from Discount. So you can get them on the Discount website, or if you just go into a Discount, you can order Sendel tires. These particular Sendel tires, they come with two finishes. They come with like a black matte on the inside, or they come completely silver machined. I think that's what they call them. So it's the Sendel T03. I'll link all the specs down below. It's the 16-inch wheel, but you won't be able to put an ST tire on a 16-inch wheel, at least on an Airstream. That's why you have to move to the LT tire. because there's just not, the ST tire is just too big. They don't even fit on it. As long as we're waiting here, let's just talk about inflation real quick. This is like the most debated thing on the internet when it comes to towable RVs, and that is, do you inflate your tires to the load or do you just go max cold? Of course, max cold will give you the maximum amount of payload on the tire, which is fantastic. But what I've decided to do with my research, in my opinion only, is to inflate to the load of the tire, because I don't want any unnecessary wear and tear done on the RV. For instance, if I were to go max cold on the truck, which is I think 90 on these Michelins, in about 1 day of driving, I would say, oh my gosh, the truck would be so rigid and it'd be so hard and firm, it wouldn't be very enjoyable to drive. So I just take that same philosophy and I move it to the trailer, and it's not even as well built as this truck. And I think, well, why do I want all the screws and the rivets and the plumbing and the toilet? Why do I want it to have that rigid ride? I want it to have as comfortable of a ride as possible, but still have the payload to make sure that it can carry the weight. And so that's the conclusion that I've come up with. And in fact, I inflate these to 65, and even that's probably like 20 pounds over the payload that it needs. If you look at the load inflation table, it's gonna be somewhere in like the 40s. Now, if you choose to inflate your tires based upon the load and not max cold, you're gonna have to say something, because a tire shop is going to inflate a trailer, and they consider a towable RV a trailer and not an RV. The reason they're gonna inflate a trailer tire to max cold is because a trailer typically would want to have the highest amount of payload possible, because you don't know what you're gonna put on the trailer. Maybe you're gonna put on concrete blocks, maybe you're gonna put on a tractor. They don't know, so you're gonna go max cold. The other thing the tire shop is going to do, because it's a trailer, is they're going to mount the balancing weights to the outside of the wheel, because it's a trailer. And so even though these are really nice alloy wheels that you would never mount the weights on the outside because they're attractive, and because I inflate to load, a tire shop will go max cold and they will put the weights on the outside of the wheel, unless I ask.
How many we're doing? 6
5.
Right? 5?
We'll do the spare 2.
Yeah, okay, I don't remember exactly. So 5 of them. And then what do you want to do with the old stuff?
Put them back in the box, because I'm going to give these to a friend of mine.
Okay, with or without the tires?
What's that?
You want to keep the
Oh,
tires?
no tires.
So just the wheels?
Discard the tires, wheels in the box.
Perfect, okay.
And then these are the TP mess stems. Transfer those to the new wheels.
Perfect. Let me do the walkthrough for the truck.
Cool. Okay, so I've checked out the tires without the warranty was $1,300, $1,334.83. That's for 5, because I actually have a Sendel wheel that I'm putting up for the spare. That way, if there's any issues, I can move a complete tire in, and then I can go get it fixed without having to then swap out a spare. Man, that's a pretty wheel. This is an ABS Easy Lube Cap cover, and it's made out of plastic, which does a better job with corrosion up against than the steel ones, the metal ones. Uh-oh. I think I've got 4 of the T03, so this was mistakenly put in there, which is the classic wheel. I could just go get the correct wheel and then swap out the spare later. And I guess that's what I'll do. Maybe about 20,000 miles ago or so, I put the Centromatic wheel balancers on here, which is supposed to balance the hub and balance the tire. So even if the wheel is out of balance, it adjusts for that and keeps things smooth. On this particular tire, I'm seeing an imbalance, like a complete flat spot. So like one of a few things happened. So either I locked it up at some point and this tire locked up and it created the flat spot, or there's an imbalance in the wheel that's creating that flat spot. Either way, I've elected to just take care of tire stuff every spring, bring the trailer to a discount tire, have them check the tread pattern, see if it's wearing evenly, and not move the Centromatic wheel balancers over to this new set of wheels. In reality, there's no reason to rotate trailer tires because there's no drive axle and there's no steer axle and there's just as many right turns as left turns. But I think I've come to the conclusion, no research, just my own personal opinion, that there could always be a little bearing issue. There could be a little misalignment in an axle where a tire on a trailer is going to wear differently than the rest. And so I think every spring or once a year to go in and check the tread pattern and see how they're wearing, and then possibly rotate if you do have a misalignment. I mean, of course you could fix the axle or fix the bearing, but I mean, I think a lot of these things are they're just not 100%. So I'm not going to go replace an axle because I have a little bit of wear on the outside of a tire. I mean, I guess some people would. I don't think it's a major issue, but I do think in those cases it might make sense to just rotate tires if there is uneven wear.
Most commonly, you see a lot of wear on the rear more, just because it's swinging a lot more. It's constantly dragging when you're turning and stuff. But the fronts usually don't. But it's possible. It's possible that if it's, you know, not perfectly square, once it wears down, it has a little bit of alignment wear, and then
it just starts going faster and faster and faster. I also forgot to mention, you balance now with the stick-on stuff on the inside of the wheel?
Right, yeah, so it just depends. So when you come in here and look, so I could probably get a clip weight, which is probably the way we'll do it, clip and then tape on the inside. So we'll do a dual plane balance instead of a single plane. So it's just a little bit more accurate when you do a dual plane.
Oh, that'd be great.
Our balancers are pretty good about single planes too, because they're pretty new, but it's a better ride when you do a dual instead of a single. So.
Sweet. Unfortunately, I was not smart enough to remember to request to keep the TPMS sensor on the same wheel. And sadly, programming the TPMS sensors on the trailer, like the Ford TPMS trailer system, it can be a pretty big pain. It doesn't connect to the truck unless if there's a differential of 10 PSI. And so what I've learned to do is add 10 pounds of PSI to the tire, put it in its learn mode, and start taking air out of the tire, and then when it gets down to about 10 PSI, then the truck honks its horn and it connects. I know that sounds simple, but it actually is a process. And if I would have thought of it, I could have just lined them all up so that I didn't have to change it. They'll still all connect, so I'll know if one is low, I just don't know which one. Okay. One of the nice things about moving to the 16-inch wheel is that I gained about a ½ inch. So that's also nice, give me a little bit more clearance. I don't think I'm gonna have to adjust my hitch, and I don't even mind if the Airstream is pitched down just a hair. I've already adjusted that hitch, so it's actually up a little bit, so I'm level. I'm gonna remeasure, but it's nice to have just another ½ inch of clearance.
And this doesn't stay wet like this, it'll dry and it just makes it look clean.
Oh, that's cool. It's been a good visit, Discount Tire. I just disconnected and they grabbed the truck. They're pulling it in right now and they are gonna rotate the tires of the truck, because that's what I said. I said I was gonna rotate the tires every 5,000 miles or at least do a much better job. So I asked him when I was in there, what was the mileage when I got the tires in Colorado not too long ago. And it was 137,000 miles. And right now we're at about 150. So that's 13,000 miles. So that's the closest I've ever been to 5,000. So we'll see if maybe I can rotate every 10,000. That's probably a little bit more realistic. Let the record show that the rotation and balance was done at 150,808. Tow haul mode on. Hi, you there?
Yeah, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm headed back now. I got the tires and wheels and everything's all set.
Whoa, that's gotta feel good.
It does. New tires are a huge peace of mind, right?
Woohoo!
Man, those wheels look nice. There's Randy over there. He's gonna want to know how his little shim is working out on the hitch. It'll be the first question he asks. Here he comes.
I want to know, did it work or not?
I said that was gonna be the first question you asked. That's what I said.
Does it or doesn't it?
Zero sound. Zero movement.
I knew it.
Zero. It's just perfect. It's perfect.
I knew that all along. So we don't have to fix the other part. That's the good part.
Yeah, no. Here's the question. Can I get it out? Wow. How about that, huh?
That's pretty good.
The question is, what did we do wrong then?
Something's wrong if it worked that good.
You think that spray worked at all, or you think maybe just, you know what, probably just towing with it. It just formed.
It formed it, yeah.
It formed.
Yes.
Just remembered I got to get the spare done. You know, I've been keeping a single moving blanket in the bed of my truck lately. It's so helpful. So this is the spare tire relocation kit, because we moved the spare tire back here when we did the solar build, because we put the propane, the Onan propane generator up front using the Aircrafter's propane like gen rack system. It just occurred to me that these are new wheels, and I'm a big fan. Where's my 4-way wrench? I gotta get this stuff out of here, hold on. There it is. What I was saying is that anytime you get new wheels, tires, or a new RV, it's good to just make sure you have everything you need to change a spare tire. Sometimes there's not enough distance between the lug nut and the hub cover to get a 4-way wrench on it. There is in this case, but our Flying Cloud, there was not. I needed to go get a thin-walled, deep socket so that I could get the tire off. And now there's a couple different ways I can get a tire up off the ground. I could use the jack from the truck, which I found and located, or I could use, what is this called? The trailer aid. But see, here again, with the size of these wheels, this is probably something that I should test to make sure that this is going to be compatible with the wheels and tires I have, that it's actually going to get this up off the ground. It probably will, but I've never tried, and that's the point. Just make sure that you try. You don't have to do it, just make sure that everything you have to change a flat tire actually works and you know where it is. Download the app, start the engine, plug the MX into the port, push pair, go to device settings and pair with that, launch the app, allow location services. Okay. All right, I called my buddies up in Murfreesboro. These are the guys that the last time we did the updates with all the forescan updates. If you saw that episode, if not, I'll link it here. But I called them and I said, well, I plugged in the Obi-Wan Kenobi. What do I do now with all these codes? They said, clear them all. I said, really? They said, yeah. They said a lot of those errors are related to the fact that I changed my pusher. And they say, find out what errors come back. Because a lot of these errors, I think, were happening because of the battery issues. I don't think they're real. Guess we're gonna find out. So, clear codes. All right, let's start it back up. Hey, check engine light's gone. Look at that. Now the question is, will it come back? And if it comes back, then I suppose I'll go to the dealership. I know. I got a little dirty.
Hey.
What?
I'm glad you're home.
I'm glad to be home.
I made tamales.
Ooh.
Yes. So I'm gonna steam them up.
Ooh.
And I decided that I think because Caleb got hurt right before Christmas, and I had no lead up, no cookie making, nothing. I think that's why I've made 3 different kinds of cookies in the past like 10 days.
What's going on here?
But then my timer stopped, so now they're kind of crusty around the edges.
Oh, I'll be the judge of that.
Anyway, gotta let
What
them.
are these? Gingerbread cookies?
Yeah. So successful day.
Yes. Tires look, wheels and tires look fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, I got to go back for the spare, but yeah, all very good. And the engine light stayed off the entire drive, so I think I was right.
Well, I'm just glad that we're not going to be too far from home on our first trip.
Yes.
So.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome back.
Thank you. I think people want to probably Caleb updates.
We were on?
Yeah.
It's a big day here at the Leach House. Just got my mobility scooter.
Oh.
Right.
Boom.
Zoom out a little bit.
Move free.
Follow me.
Hey, how was the doctor?
Doc's always great.
Yeah.
Really sewed me up quite well.
Yeah.
When I looked, and like the stitches are on this side and the cut is on this side.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what food I could be thinking of that integrates this well.
But he did a good job.
Some kind of pastry maybe?
Oh snap.
Isn't that funny?
Oh snap.
Oh
It's like
snap.
a PTSD cookie.
My favorite. Look at the dinner bell.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And,
happy dinner bell.
Mom brings snacks.
That's funny.
So this is from Trisha Kellogg, and then this is from Norman Tripp. Look at this. This is the
Signed
green.
by the green jersey winner.
But for
Amazing.
people that don't know the tour, this is a big deal because that's the fastest rider. So the letter included was so nice. It said a speedy recovery.
Speedy recovery.
So there's a
so nice.
double
It was
thing
awesome.
going on here.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Everything good at the doctor's? Tell me about it.
It was great.
So I went to the KYD Insiders Facebook group, and I said, hey, I'm getting new wheels, but these 15-inch classic wheels, which are also made by Sendel, are available. Free wheels, only the cost of shipping. Who's got dibs? And Scott Brewington was the first to say, dibs. So, but I'm not going to send them dirty wheels, because that wouldn't be very fun. Open them up and they're all dirty, so I got to get them all cleaned up for them. And other than that, when I get done with this, Trish and I are going to start packing up to head down the coast. And like I said, we've got a couple state parks planned. I hope the weather improves, but it'll be good. We got all the things we needed to get done, all our RV chores. So now we can take one of 4 trips in Florida this winter. All right, that's it. Hope you got something out of the tire video. If you're looking for a more comprehensive RV tire video, we actually did one earlier, I think last year, and I'll link it at the end of this video. See you next Sunday.